People are understanding something, are bringing peace in their lives. And you can be a part of the magic regardless of where you are. For a lot of you, this may be the first night you're listening to this message. Or some of you have been listening to this message for years and years and years. But today I'd like to talk about us. Not just you, not just me, but us. Because here we are on the face of this earth. And really, when we take the time to stop and consider the value of being alive, we all agree it is the most precious thing. But then, when we get busy, and I'm not going to even try to qualify busy doing what, but we get busy. And we get so busy that we get distracted from fundamentally those simple things that we know to be true. We know that clarity in our lives is important. We know that without that clarity, there's pain. But how much effort do we make in a day to stay clear? We know that if we give priority to that simplicity in our lives, that if we give priority to that truest love in our life, that if we give priority to that truth in our lives, that we can be free. Free. Free from inside. Freedom does not come from outside. Nobody can take your freedom away, and nobody can award you the freedom. There is a psychological freedom. You are now in prison, so you're not free. You are in solitary confinement. You are isolated from everybody, and so you are not free. But do you realize that so many people who we now regard as beautiful people, that's exactly what they did. They went in a cave and locked themselves up, didn't come out. Completely away from the society, cut off on top of some mountain to find the true freedom. So, knowing what is good for us, we repeatedly is the key word here, repeatedly discard that, and again and again and again in our lives we find ourselves trapped in what? Uncertainty, pain, suffering. Pain is nothing in itself. It's a consequence. You really have to understand this, that pain is not an entity in itself. It is a consequence. A consequence. You want to inflict pain on this skin? What do you have to do? You can easily pinch it. And then you will have pain. If you don't pinch it, it's fine. It's not hurting. Consequence. My leg is not hurting, but if my bone was broken. See, that's why you go to the doctor. You say, I have a pain in my knee. Just an example. You go to the doctor, and what does the doctor say? Let's find out what is wrong. And even though the doctor may give you a pill so that you don't feel so much pain, the doctor knows they have to fix the problem. And when the problem is fixed, voila, pain will be gone. I see this so many times, and it happens to me too. After a long day, you come back home and your feet are hurting. So what do? What do people do? I've seen a lot of people do this. What do? They could go and get an aspirin, call the doctor, call the ambulance, call 911 or whatever the emergency number is. My feet are hurting. Come take me to the hospital. But you know what they do? They take off their shoes and they go, ah. Sometimes your legs are hurting. You don't call the doctor. You find a place to sit down. Just sit down. And when you do, what do people do? Especially when you get older. Ah. So, what is the in your life? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? 3 words. Who are you? 3 simple, easy, little words. And in English, all of them are 3 letters. Who are you? Who are you? Because unless you understand who are you, will you know what you are supposed to be? Who are you? If you're eating something, And you think it's an apple, but it doesn't taste like an apple. Aren't you going to ask, what is this? What is this? So, are we the beings who express jealousy, fear, anger, hopelessness, suffering, pain, uncertainty? Because if that is the lot in life, at least me, I have a problem. I mean, why go through the trouble of having this earth, making it so beautiful, putting human beings here, having consciousness, having the power to think, having the power to feel, having the power to acknowledge, when all you get to feel is these stupid things? Okay, I'll give you an example. Your wife, and if you are a woman, your husband, so work it out. And if you're not married, your girlfriend or your boyfriend, they tell you one day, you have to come and watch this movie with me. It's an incredible movie. Incredible. Come and watch this movie with me. And you go, I don't know. And they maybe threaten you a little bit. Yes, you are coming. After all, you are free, so it's okay. You think you're free. So, yes, so you go to the movie and you sit down and you start watching the movie, and it is horrible. Horrible. Like, there was this movie long time ago called Dancing with the Wolves. And it went on and on and on. It was a great movie, but it needed editing. The whole thing could have been told in 15 minutes. Done. But it went on and on and on and on. And so I said, this is the most horrible movie I have ever watched. And it turns out I was not the only one. There is a club of people who hate that movie. So, three hours or however long that movie was, it was torture. There you are, it's dark. You cannot make phone calls. You cannot start a conversation. You keep looking at your watch, you look at the screen, and finally you feel hope because, okay, it's almost hour and a half and the movie will end. And the hour and a half goes So you live with hour and a half, you lived with hope. Hope that it will end in an hour and a half. And after the hour and a half, you lived in the hope any minute. This will end. Hope. And you hoped, and you hoped, and it wouldn't end. And it got boring, and it got more 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 boring. If life is like that, we have a problem. For an average age of 70 years, you get 25,550 days. That's it. That's it. 25,550 is not that much. And it depends how old you are. Well, most of them are gone. So who are you? Who am I is a question that has been ringing out since time immemorial. People have been asking, who am I? And even though there are more books today than there ever were, and there is a bigger section of self-help books at any bookstore than ever was. And there is the World Wide Web of information. But the question remains unanswered. People say, well, sometimes I feel good, and sometimes I feel bad. That's life. If you buy a car, a brand new car, if you buy a brand new watch, if you buy a brand new refrigerator, if you buy a brand new oven, and it keeps breaking down, and you take it back to the dealer, and you say to the dealer, hey, there's something wrong with this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And with human beings, it's actually a very simple pattern. When you get all your ego, the top, it seems like you're on top of the world. Immediately followed by bottom of the barrel. Then, right after the bottom of the barrel, followed by ego. I did it. I. Bottom, you. Top, I. You. I, you. That's the formula. And the guy says to you about your new car, hey, it's just like life. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Why are you bringing it back? You are not going back to your mother and saying, put me back. Sometimes I'm broken, sometimes I'm not, sometimes I'm broken, sometimes I'm not. This is stupid. Your watch works for an hour, stops for an hour, works for an hour, stops for an hour. There's nothing wrong with it. It stops, you hit it, it works for an hour, then after an hour it stops, you hit it again. This is what we do. We get hit. Oh, humble. Oh, humble. And then ego. How dare you touch me? Sometimes we work, sometimes we don't. So, is everything okay? I'm just asking. Sometimes it works, because this is what a lot of people say. You know, why are you getting off on it? Why are you talking about this subject? Sometimes it's, that's life. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, then you're happy and you're sad. So that's life. Wouldn't work for the refrigerator. Doesn't work for your car. Doesn't work. I mean, it wouldn't work for your dog either. Dog. If the dog, sometimes one day he's at your house, second day he's at that house, third day he's at that house, fourth day he's at your house, wagging his tail. And you're like, wait a minute. You're my dog, you stay here. And the dog wags his tail, wuff, 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 wuff. And then gone. Gone. So, of course, if that's how you accept life to be, I don't have much to say. I mean, if I am a mechanic and there is something wrong with the car, I can fix it. But according to you, there is nothing wrong with the car. Everything is fine. That's how the car is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's okay. I say to you, that's not how it should be. That's not how it should be. It should be that you know that source of joy that is inside of you always. That during the day, you are most busy being happy. Of course, there are other things too. You're busy because of those. You go have your job, you have to prepare your children to go to school, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. But the top priority, top top priority is busy being content. Do you know? Do you know that there is an ocean of answers inside of you? You look for the questions. It's okay. Questions are overrated. You know why? Because question is a good question if it takes you to the answer. What is the point of having a question that has no answer? What is the point? But, fortunately and luckily, inside each one of us is an ocean of answers. Who are you? Who are you? There's a little story I will tell you. One day, there was a little rabbit. He's going along, minding his business, and he could sense danger. Smell danger. Before he had gotten a chance to gather himself, a huge lion pounced right next to him, growling, "I'm going to eat you." And the bunny said, "Think. Your life is over. You have to get out of this situation, otherwise it is over. This lion is hungry. You look like food. He's much stronger. But maybe there is a way you can get out." So the bunny looked at the lion and said, No. You are not going to eat me. And lion had never heard a little bunny talking back, saying, No, you're not going to eat me. And the lion says, "What makes you think I'm not going to eat you?" Said, "Because I am a very, very special bunny. I have been sent here by the Lord of the jungle. And all the animals know this except for you. So you can't eat me, I'm a special bunny." The lion said, "I don't believe you." The bunny said, "Listen, you don't believe me? Fine, I'll prove it to you. I'll show you how much respect all of these animals that live in this jungle have for me." The lion said, "Okay." And the bunny said, "Follow me." And the bunny is hopping, and the lion is following. And sure enough, as those animals see that bunny coming, followed by the lion, they disappear. And the lion said, "Oh my God. Truly, truly, truly is a special bunny sent here to rule this jungle. Because look at his power. As soon as these animals see him, they're gone." If you get the story, it's a funny story. Why? Because it wasn't the bunny. It was the lion. When they would see the lion, they would flee. You are the lion. You are the lion that is being fooled. 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 Because the priority has changed. You know, I know things have to happen in this world for this world to function. People in this world to function. But priority is priority. What is the priority of a pilot flying an airplane from point A to point B? I ask this question quite a bit. What is the priority of a pilot going from point A to point B? When they hear the point A and point B, they go, it is his responsibility to get you safely from point A to point B. His responsibility is actually to make sure you are safe. All the way till you are in his or her aircraft. So if at point B, they're killing each other with bullets, would you still like to get there? No. If point B is full of fire, would you still like to get there? If there is a huge thunderstorm and bad winds and hail, would you still like to get there? No. You'd like to be alive, and that's the responsibility. Make sure you are safe. You are on a journey. Average 70 years, 25,550. Think about it as 25,550 steps. The very few at the beginning, you had no idea what was happening. None whatsoever. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Play, 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 play. Only to learn, only to learn that this life isn't going to be a play. And then you will grow up and you will try very hard to make this life a play. Play, 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 play. And then at the very end, you wish you could play. It's amazing. I know people who get to that point in their life and they know, hey, take it easy. They say to the young people, why do you work so hard? Enjoy yourself. Play a little. Laugh a little. But were they doing that when they were young? No. There was an old man, bent down, big load of wood on his shoulders. He was walking. Behind him came a young man. Just graduated. He was going to get a job, start his life. He looked at the old man and he said, tell me the secret of life. And the old man took the load off his shoulders, put it down, stood up straight. Then he put it back, hunched in, and started walking away. The young man said, you haven't told me. He said, I just showed you. This load that we carry on our shoulders, how infatuated we are with tomorrow. Mañana. Today is spent for mañana, for tomorrow. And yesterday, it's gone. Trying to hold on what you cannot hold on to. Today, this is wisdom. This is wisdom. This is wisdom. If you spend today enjoying from your heart, then tomorrow makes perfect sense. Because that's what you can do tomorrow too. Because you did it today. You're good at it. Listen, when you are at a bus stop and you're standing there, and when the bus comes, all you do is look at it. And then finally your bus comes. But you are so used to doing this that finally when your bus comes, you do exactly that. And then realize, oh my God, that was my bus. This is not how life should be. This is a song. And it needs to be sung. This is a drum, and it needs to be played. And it is a reality, and it needs to be felt. And it is the truth, and it needs to be embraced. And it is a divinity. And it needs to be honored. Honored. You go to places where they have designated it. People go to temples I was just in India not too long ago. And I was telling this to the Indians. I was saying, I was driving by this temple and I saw all the devotees going in. Makes sense to me. They're going to see their God. But then I said, I don't understand why they were coming out. I see people going in to the house of God and then they leave. Now, okay. Me, I can only say this, me personally, if I found the house of God, I'm not leaving. I am staying. See, where God really lives, you don't know. You don't know. But only people show up on Sunday. That's no place to be. That's the God's day of rest. And everybody shows up. That's the day people go and pray. I find that a little different. And nobody there at night? You lock it up. Why? Why? So God can't go out? Or the devotees can't go in? Doesn't make sense to me. But where I have felt God, it makes perfect sense to me. Because God dwells not in a concrete building, not on top of a mountain, not at the bottom of the ocean, not at the mouth of some holy river. But God dwells in the heart of human beings. That's the only way. That's the only place. Only place. No doors and no door locks. Day and night. Always there, and regardless of where you go, with you always, till you are alive. So how much respect do you have for you? And how much respect do you have for your fellow mankind? And so let me ask you the question again. Who are you? Now we've talked about two parts. One, the trouble attractor that attracts all the trouble. Doubt, problems, craziness, anger, fear, the list goes on. List goes on. You could be either that thing that doesn't even know how to say, I love you to the ones you love. That bad. That's bad. The ones you love have a hard time saying to them, I love you. To the one you don't know, good morning. Buenos dias. How are you today? Good to see you. Oh, it was so nice to see you. And the ones you truly love, what? Is my coffee ready? Listen, I'm going to be late today. Listen. So, are you that? Or are you this? In whose heart God resides? In whom there is the ocean of answers? In whom there is a lamp waiting to be lit that can dispel the darkness? Are you this, where the peace wants to dance? Where the drums of joy are almost too loud? Where there is a beautiful reality that dances every day? That there is a shelter within you that you do not know. So, this or this? Which one? And don't tell me somewhere in the middle. There is no middle. Because if there is a middle, it's a compromise. When it can be this, why compromise for anything less than this? I asked the question, not that I want an answer. My effort, I know. But what is my effort? I know. My effort is to be this. And to recognize every day this possibility. And there is only one thing I know that can make me go from this to this, and that is to be conscious. And there is only one thing that can keep me here, and that is to be conscious. To appreciate and to let this heart fill with gratitude every single day To be thankful to be alive. To be thankful for the clarity. To be thankful that I felt my God in my heart. That's all. Everything else will come and go. And one day, the show will end. And it's not about the ending. Don't worry about the ending. It's not about the ending. It's about being alive. You want blessings in your life? You don't need blessings in your life. You only need to recognize what a blessing is in your life. It's a big difference. Big difference. Big difference. Why do you need to recognize the blessing and not ask for more? Because once you recognize the blessing, you will see how blessed you are. People in this world, this breath is not a blessing to them. Breath, what? I say to people, what was it when you were born? What was it that allowed you to come home instead of the morgue? What was it? Do you know? Was it wealth? Karma? The Holy Scriptures? Good eyeglasses? What? Excellent command of your language? Incredible health? What was it? You think. Think. What was it? You know what it was? This breath. Once you came out, all the focus was breathing or not. You know that? Okay? And what at the very end? There you are, you're in the hospital, and all the machines are saying you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Blood pressure, dead. Heart, EKG, dead. Brainwave, dead. Temperature, dead. But you're still breathing. And the doctor comes in and looks at the machine and then looks at you, and you're breathing, and the machine says you're dead. What will the doctor say? The doctor will say the machine is broken. The doctor won't say to you, hey, you are broken, because you're still breathing and you should be dead. No, the machine is broken, not you. That's the last and final act. The first act. Scene 1. Scene 1. First act. Scene 1. The coming of the breath. Not going out of the breath. No. Coming in the breath. Act 1, scene 1. This is how it begins. Last act, last scene, last chapter of the last scene. Out, but not in. Now, aren't you a little curious? Now, you don't have to be a genius. So, begins with that and ends with that. Muy importante. Must be a blessing. Has to be a blessing. And when you find yourself full of anger, full of fear, full of desperation, feel your breath and know that someone is still blessing you. Somebody very important is still blessing. And of all the realities, all the realities, this one better be real. For you, this one better be real. And it is. And it is sweet. And it is simple. And it is beautiful. And it is a gift. And it comes in every day, every moment, every moment, every moment, every moment, every moment. And you need to be aware. That's all. That's all. And because this comes, you can play doctor. Because this comes, you can play mommy. Because this comes, you can play daddy. Because this comes, you can play uncle. Because this comes, you can play lawyer. Because this comes, you can play all your games. And when this comes no more, ciao. Because this comes, they do this. Because this doesn't come, they do this. Because this comes. So who are you? Could you be really that vessel in which blessings keep coming? Wow. 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 Oh, did you know this is dirt? Did you know that? In fact, you clean your house, you vacuum your house, it gets dirty if you don't, right? You don't like for your house to be dirty. It doesn't look good. Dirt everywhere, dirt. Right? You know what you're cleaning? That's what you're cleaning. Most of that dirt is just this that you don't like. Love it when it's on you. Hate it when it's not on you. So, it seems to me that so far this breath keeps coming in, the dirt dances, talks, walks, thinks, smiles, and looks beautiful. And when this breath is no more, dirt becomes just that, dirt. Would you say that that's a miracle? Would you? I mean, to just take dirt and make it sing and dance and talk. That's very good. Very good. But instead of this dirt feeling gratitude and feeling thankful, this dirt gets full of itself. Dirt. When the dirt gets here, this dirt says, I am not dirt. How dare you call me dirt? It is cute when the dirt says that. And it's not funny. It is not funny. Here's the miracle. And the miracle thinks this is it. Peace will come to you the day you become this. Cannot help but come to you. And you, that day, will be in peace. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And not for 1 day, not for 2 days, not for 3 days, not for 4 days, but for the rest of your life. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. So thank you for listening to me, and good night. Take care.